We are making bowl cozies today. And by we, I mean me. Unless, of course, you want to join along. This is a fairly easy item to make. And if you are a small business, this is a fun one to take to shows and that kind of thing. Therefore, cold or hot, you don't want to have it in your hand, but you're eating. Chili season is coming up because football has started, and that means cooler weather and all of the warm dishes and stews and all of that. You sit in front of the TV and you watch your ball game and you need your bowl or you eat your ice cream. That's what I do. I eat my ice cream. I am going to walk you through how to make a bowl cozy. Fairly easy. One of the first things you're going to need to do, especially if you're going to make several, is just make a little template. I do have a YouTube tutorial on how to do your template. Very easy. If you are going to measure or if you are going to make your template, you need a 10 by 10 square. And I have rounded my corners. I do like the look of the rounded a little bit more than this pointy. It's not bad. But I just prefer the rounded. If you want to keep it simple and have one less thing to worry about getting around those rounded corners, you do you and you do your little pointy corners. This is rounded. When you're drawing your cross on here, so you're going this way to this way, you are going to want to come in 2 inches here. And from your line here, you're going to go 1 inch this way and 1 inch that way, and then cut out your triangle. And you're going to do that on each one of your straight sides. If you want your corners rounded, round them on your template so you are good to go. Kind of looks like a butterfly, doesn't it? All right, what you need is 2 pieces of material. They can be the exact same piece of material or they can be different. It does not matter however you want to do it. Then you are going to need 2 pieces of your batting. You do want to make sure that your batting is microwave safe. This is a Wrap and Zap. It's a Pellon Wrap and Zap. I bought it like by the bolt. You want double, but you want to make sure it's microwave safe. In case somebody does put this in the microwave, I don't really recommend people put them in the microwave, but if they forget and they put their bowl and everything in the microwave, it isn't going to spark and catch on fire because there's something in it that shouldn't be. This is absolutely microwave safe, 100% cotton. All right, enough on that. Now, what you're going to do is you are going to lay one of your pieces of material, cut 10 by 10, onto each of your batting pieces. It's hard to do things and talk at the same time. And once you get those on there, you can pin them. I probably am going to just put a couple of pins because what we're going to do is 2 things. We are going to stitch corner to corner and on both sides. So I'm kind of putting these out of the way where I know that they will not be in the path of my sewing. Then once we do our stitching to attach our batting to our material on both pieces, we are going to draw our lines, sew, and then cut the darts off and then put it together. I'm going to go ahead and get all this sewn together. Alrighty, we have our stitches on. We have stitched all of this. I did mark it, but I marked it on the front. You do need to mark it on the back. This is when your template comes in super handy. You're really just going to lay it on there, get it lined up as best you can, and you're gonna just make your little marks. And you want to do it on the back because you're gonna put right sides together to make these darts. Are going to go ahead and fold those together. I do go ahead and match up my corners, and then I just look to see, one, that my material isn't doing something weird on the inside, and that point is basically good to go. All right, we are just going to follow the little line that we made, and this is called a dart. Look, Mom, you can sew darts. You should be proud of yourself if this is the first time you've done this, right? All right, so we are gonna go around. We're gonna do that on each side. After you cut your darts, you are going to trim off the excess material, and you can already see that this is how it's going to stand up. So I'm gonna go through, finish out the darts. I wanted to show you before I cut these off kind of the thought process behind the dart. Basically, that little V that we drew becomes this diagonal stitch, and you're really just making sure that your corners match up here and that you feel in and there's no wrinkles that you're sewing into your project, and you're just gonna sew on that line, and it makes this great little dart. And then we are gonna cut that material off. Just wanted to make sure you could kind of see how that worked and what I was doing with what I had drawn on there and why it was important to draw it. Just a good visual guideline. Oh, one more to cut off. All right, the next thing we are going to do is put these in right sides together. What we're gonna do is turn them both so that your pretty sides are facing each other. We are gonna make sure we've got our corners popped out inside here and inside here. And then we are going to place those inside each other, again, with the right sides together. And get it all kind of tucked in there. We're looking to kind of match up our points and edges and our seams. And let me get some little clips going here. I'm going to catch those. We are going to leave one side open slightly. Let me get that on there. One of these edges we will leave open so that we can get everything turned back out. I am going to, on these, do the nesting of the seams. If you don't know what nesting is, it is basically where you take one seam one way and the other seam the opposite direction, and they just kind of butt up against each other. It's the best way to have less bulk when you're going over seams. Makes it a little bit easier. Look at that. You learned something new today if you didn't know that. If you did, sorry, I just bored you. All right, got this. All right, so now we're gonna get all of these matched up. I'm gonna go ahead and get this all done while you work on yours, if you're doing one along with me. And then we will come back together. Next step is to stitch around all of this. We're going to close it off. We do need to leave a section open. This is probably the hardest part, is just leaving a big enough section open. It is probably a little more challenging when you round your corners because your space becomes less, where typically, you know, about here, you could make that your opening. But when you round your corners, it shrinks your space at the top down, and then you end up, it just becomes a little more challenging. So I am going to start right at where I'm rounding my corner. I am going to go ahead and round my corners. So I'm going to start there, round the corner, and I'm going to leave this open, and I'm going to stop right at the seam where it comes together. And hopefully that works out the way I want it to work out. we have that done, we got our corners rounded. I'm just going to take a second and trim off some of that extra so that it will turn a little easier. I'm not going to trim too much right here where the opening is because I do want that to be able to fold over and work out nicely. You know what I mean? Okay, now we are going to take our opening. We're going to reach in between the two materials. I'm going to reach all the way in and go for the furthest one away, popping that out, and then I go back in. I just pull it enough that I can grab it, go back in and pop out the next one, and maybe get those two to kind of come through that tiny little hole first. Everything should just kind of pull through. So it's really important to backstitch on that little opening where you start and stop your opening because it gets a lot of pull all around it. Okay, and then we're just gonna take a second, pop out our little rounded spots. This is where we sewed. That one's going to be close to the edge. Get them all pushed out. Right, and then I just kind of push and pinch all along that seam so that everything gets rolled out. The seam's pretty thick because you've got batting on both sides. So I just kind of give it a little push from the inside and a pinch. Look how cute this is. Oh yeah, it's so much better with two pieces of the batting in there. Without that, it just doesn't have that, you know, stand up, stand alone kind of ability. So this is great. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our stitch length at 3. We are going to stitch 1/4 of an inch all along here and just kind of give it a little bit more stability. We're gonna roll in our opening. We're gonna close that and stitch over that as well. And I'm actually gonna start right there so I can catch all of that right off the bat and know that I've got it. It's going to be pretty close to the edge where a lot of the rest of it might be a little further down, and that's okay. We have a bowl cozy. We're gonna cut off all the extra little threads, and I am gonna take it over and heat up the areas where I did mark on it with the pen. And you can see I did round my corners, decided to do that. You can do this either way. That's the cool thing about these. And if you choose 2 different materials, it's awesome because now you have 2 different bowls or bowl cozies. All right, that is it. I hope you make a bunch of these, and this is a great Christmas gift. That's it for me. Y'all have a great day. I will see you soon.